Let's talk about the Sansui SP-2500 speakers. Have you ever heard the term Kabuki? These were vintage Japanese-made speakers from the 1960s through the 80s, often produced by brands like Sansui, Kenwood, and Pioneer. The main characterization were multiple drivers stuffed in and seemingly a small enclosure for the number of drivers. Complex crossovers, and often these ornate lattice grilles. Right on the back it gives you the details. These have a 12-inch woofer, two 5-inch squawkers, which are mid-ranges, two 2-inch tweeters. You also have adjustments for treble and mid-range. Still have the original in Japanese caution label. Serial numbers.
The star of the show are the real hardwood strips that make up the intricate wood lattice grilles.
These speakers weren't really just for audio, they're kind of meant to be a piece of furniture in your home. These were a little rough when I got them, but not too bad. I had to fill some gouges and chunks with QuickWood epoxy. And then I did sand down the veneer. There are some scratches you can see, but I didn't want to burn through the veneer. So just kind of left it. And then I did a fresh coat of Danish oil over the walnut veneer. Another common attribute of these Kabuki speakers were the efficiency. These ones come in around 98 decibels at 1 watt, 1 meter, I believe. So you do not need much power to drive these things very loud. There's like the Sansui AU series, or the 9090 would be great with these. You don't need a 200 watt monster to make these things sing. Even 15 to 20 watts is plenty. These things are built like tanks. They weigh around 50 pounds each, are heavily internally braced. You can hear just how dead they sound when you rap on the cabinets. Let's open up this crossover and show you some of the internals. Again, you can see on the back the treble attenuation and mid-range attenuation to fine-tune the speaker to your room and your listening environment. Here's the crossover. Pretty complex, actually. We have some sand resistors here. Here are the switches for your attenuation. Pretty big. Looks like iron core inductors and some capacitors there. Kind of an interesting design. Looks fairly high quality though. Let's get some light in here and take a look at some of the drivers. Here are the two tweeters. And then to the left and right of them are the two squawkers, or mid-ranges. And down below you can see the big ceramic magnet on that 12-inch woofer. Pretty beefy. One more thing I wanted to point out. What do those inductors look like? They look a heck of a lot like transformers. Sansui started in 1947 as a transformer manufacturer. So that may be why they kind of kept that design and aesthetic to their inductors. Now, often these electrolytic caps can dry out. They're not polyfilm. So it would be recommended just to check the value, see if they're still within spec or not. But these are quality capacitors. Now, many people, when they get these, they want to see the drivers, right? So they try pulling off the grills, seeing if there's friction, if it's friction fit, or have those plastic pegs. But on these, in each corner, it's pretty hard to see. You can see that tiny screw. There's 4 of them on each grill, on each speaker, 1 in each corner. So let's take the grills off. These are pretty small screws, so I'm using a number 1 Phillips. sometimes for me, it's even hard to find them. And I've taken these off before. There's one there. All right, the grill is unsecured. Let's have a look. So what a unique look. 12-inch woofer, has some venting under the dust cap, I assume for some cooling of the voice coil. It's an inverted cloth surround, so there's no foam rot, dry rot to worry about in replacing the woofer surround. There's the mid-ranges and the 2 tweeters. And they are just, I believe they're just cone tweeters with this diffraction guide. So pretty cool look.
So why are there so many of these Japanese Kabuki speakers in the United States today? A huge reason comes down to GI history. Thousands of American servicemen stationed in the Pacific had duty-free access at BX and PX stores. Servicemen bought full setups, receivers, turntables, and massive Kabuki speakers like the Sansui SP series and shipped them home tax-free via military transport. That direct pipeline created a massive secondhand market for vintage Japanese gear in American living rooms and basements. Regarding the treble and mid-range tone settings on the back,
I kind of think it almost mutes it more and more, so I think the best setting is clear all the way up. And from what I can tell, just attenuates it the least amount. But they have a great, characteristic, unique sound. This is definitely an era of Marantz, Pioneer, Sansui, where they all kind of did the same style and same sound, highly efficient, a lot of drivers in the cabinets. At the end of the day, I wouldn't say these are high-end audiophile grade speakers, but they are fun, they're iconic. The craftsmanship, a testament of how things used to be built. And whether you're a fan of that iconic Kabuki sound or love the mid-century wood lattice aesthetic, there's no denying the craftsmanship here.